What's going on, guys? This is your boy DJ Fast Next here with another review of Power Force. Alright, so let's get started with this review. The last episode ends with Tommy getting shot at and just kind of pissed off and leaves, as also a kid gets shot as well for retaliation from killing the other guy from the other CBI. I think they call him treason. I think that's the name of his organization now. So this is not CBI. So now we start off with Tommy showing up to Gennard's place, trying to find out what's going on, why are people shooting at me. We need to dead this whole situation, or somebody's gonna get hurt. And Gennard's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, your boy's coming after me because of A, B, and C. What's going on? And so, but prior to this, because I did kind of skip ahead, uh, Tommy goes to meet up with Diamond first to try to find out. He basically knows it's Gennard and his people. Diamond tries to say, well, it could be because we stole the drugs from, you know, the other people and all this other things. Like Gennard. Diamond kept bringing up the fact that it could be other people that they pissed off that could have made a shot at him because everybody wants to kill Tommy. Tommy's like, nah, 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 nah. It was your boy. It was your brother and his people. So, so what happened was basically that's when Tommy goes to Gennard and say what's going on, what's up with this stuff, and in this altercation in this situation with Tommy and Gennard, Tommy finds out that Gennard don't have a hold on his people, so he cracks a joke about it, and Gennard feels it some type of way, and then he kind of just they kind of end their conversation, but Tommy basically tells him, hey, a kid got shot and that don't look good for business at all on both sides. So you might need to go ahead and get your people in check. So far as like that. So he goes looking for this guy who put the hit out on Tommy. So he goes to his girl's house to try to make sure see if she knows where dude is at or whatnot. Let me see if I make sure I got this right. Oh, did they get rid of everybody? I think so. But yeah. So she goes. Well, he goes to her to try to find out what's going on. She tells him she doesn't know where he is, but just to be honest with you, Treason, their group, their organization, they don't think he did anything wrong. So if you retaliate against him, then you're gonna lose control over your whole organization. And he was like, I don't think it's gonna be that serious, but at the same time, I need to make sure this man don't leave people alone. So I'm not gonna kill him. Just tell me where he at. I know you know he at. So she basically tells him that he's probably at his grandmother's house. So we go back to Tommy. He's running to his house to try to see if JP and DMAC was okay. And JP was like, hey, we good, man. Nobody looking for us. Nobody strange looking around. And so D-Mac over here is what's going on. He flipping out too. So Tommy gives JP a gun and says, if anything looks suspicious, use it. You know how to use it, I know, whatever. And so JP was kind of pissed. He's like, yo, Uncle Tommy, give me a gun. What's going on, bro? Like, y'all gonna leave me out here naked? And Tommy was like, look, we don't want you to involve none of this stuff, and you ain't getting that stuff. We're not trying to put you into it like that. So peace out. Listen to your uncle. And kind of goes out. JP D-Mac kind of gets mad and runs off himself. So we go to the Flynn situation, and this is where Walter and Vic are talking about how they need to get stuff situated with this guy with these prescription drugs that happen to be a little bit stronger than normal. Because remember the whole situation got messed up earlier for the first batch. Well, I'm sorry, not they didn't get messed up. They basically worked the first batch into a deal for Vic instead of his sister. So basically, they're talking about how we can't trust these people, and Vic is trying to get his dad to understand you need to run this stuff the way you need to run this stuff. So Vic was like, Walter was like, nah, man, we gonna do it this way, and this is how we get out of our problems that we're in. So he's like, okay, cool, whatever. They meet up with the guy, the pharmaceutical guy, to get the drugs, or to find out when is everything's happening, and the drops and all that other stuff like that. So at this point, we already know that Vic is trying to destroy the organization from the inside. So Vic makes a plan, knowing where they're going to do the drop at, and basically throws a tip out on, on the drugs, and the cops basically get the guys or whatnot. So now the drugs are gone, and the guy comes to Walter and them, and basically has crazy problems about what's going on, why is the product being, messed up, and how did he get caught, and all this stuff. And so he kept trying to be rude, and he was going out his way. So another way Vic decided he wanted to kind of destroy the things from the inside out was to kill that guy from overstepping. And when he did it, Walter was like, "Man, you tripping, man? You look like you messing up the plans. Who told you to shoot him?" Like, he was like, "Dad, that dude was getting out of hand. It's time for him to stop trying to disrespect us because we the Flins, blah 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 blah, stuff like that, right?" So basically, his plan is working. He's destroying everything from the inside out. So we go to we stay with Walter. I'm sorry, was it Walter? No, sorry, none of them. He goes to meet up with Claudia. Tommy goes to meet up with Claudia to find out who killed his girl, his homegirl. And so he Liliana, yeah, he goes to find out who killed Liliana. So he goes in there, asks her question, and he's like, "I know you know," because he's like, he looks and sees her bodyguard there. He's like, "You know too. He was there. I bet you he know." And so he goes to pull a gun out on him, and the security guard is like, "What's up?" And then he stopped, and then Tommy looks at Claudia. He's like, "Look, come on, man. Just if you had to kill her, out of self defense, understandable. Like, or they had to be killed because they're living. Just let me know. I just need to know, because if not, somebody's gonna pay." And then she's like, "What?" She kind of gave a look like, "What?" and kind of flinched. And he kind of caught on to that and realized it might have been her. He was like, "But if I find out it was you, you won't know what hit you. You won't know where it's coming from. But I'm gonna catch you." And so then she kind of looks crazy, and he walks off. Later on in the episode, you kind of see where Tommy kind of shows up on old boy, the security guard. And he asks him, "Yo, tell me what you know. I know you know. You was there. Tell me what you know." He didn't want to comply. So Tommy, instead of just trying to beat it out of him, Tommy just shot him, killed him. He's like, "Look, I'm tired of this. I know what's going on." So I think at this point in time in the show, Tommy knows that Claudia is the one who killed Liliana. So he just got to get that proof, like they say. You got to get that proof before enacting on her. So now you go to this whole thing with your boy Gennard. Like I say, he goes to talk to his girl. She tells him not to do anything. He's now driving, trying to find out what can he do, what's going on with his situation. And now he's confronted by, I want to say it was the Russians, and they tell him how he needs to get the money to them. And he was like, he don't have the money right now. He go get it to him. They get him out the car, and they basically steals his car from him, and he has to walk home. I was like, damn, that's messed up. It's like they gonna take that man car. They gonna do him just like they did Tariq in Power Book in the other one. I was like, dang, man, they gonna take that man car like that. So they took his car. I guess that was for payment, and he still needs to pay the rest of the stuff. So now he's just freaking out. He don't know what the hell is going on. So he goes looking for, like I said, he's been looking for the guy. He goes to the dude's grandmother's house, and when he gets there, right before he gets there, you show up to the grandma's house, and you see that the detective guy is now showing up to the grandma's house. Oh, let's speak about the detective in that whole situation. So yes, at the end of the last episode, the detective tells his wife that she's going to get her little squad together so they could have this little task force going and search for what's going on with Tommy and this whole drug deal situation, right? And so they have a meeting with her and everybody else there, and they're bringing all the players in so everybody know who's working with who. And come to find out, her husband is one of the players, and he is pissed. So when he comes in, he asks, can he have a conversation with his wife? So they go in the back, and he literally curses his wife out, saying, "Yo, Didn't I tell you I did not want to get in the middle of your things? Why would you request for me to be on this task force? I told you I didn't want to have nothing to do with this. And she was like, you're the best at it, blah, 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 blah. And you could get things done. And you have your ears to the street better than I do. And things you can find out in like a day, it takes us almost 3 months or more to find out. So come on, help me out, help me out. And he was pissed, so he kind of walked back out. And they basically just go over the fact that, who they're looking for and what's what. And he said he's going to talk to, he's going to find the guy who they think, or who they have suspected as the shooter of, the shooter of the little boy. So he finds out it's that one cat, and he goes to his grandmother's house. He gets to his grandmother's house, and he's telling his grandmother, look, nobody's gonna, we're gonna have protection for your son, blah 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 blah. The grandmother's house, she's like, you're gonna have protection for your grandson, blah 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 blah. And she just like, nah, we don't trust you. Get out of my house, blah blah blah. Don't come back. She basically kind of like gave him the cold shoulder, and he leaves. Just says, if you have any issues, any problems, let me know. So after he leaves, that's when you get Jannar, who shows up, and you see the guy there, and Jannar tries to like, dude, didn't I tell you to stop? Don't do that. Why the hell would you do that? And now you got a little kid dead. Now you messing up business. So he pulls the gun out. He said, what is to stop me from right now from killing you? And that's when his grandmother comes out with some cookies, and he's like, yo, he had to put the gun down. He had to, give respect to the grandmother, and she was like, if my grandson shows up dead, I'm coming for you. And he was like, oh, no doubt, no doubt. He ain't gonna show up dead. I ain't gonna kill him, blah, blah, blah. And so he kind of walks off, and he was like, cool. So I guess him and his grandmother has a talk, and I think the detective either shows up to the detective, or the detective finally rolls up on him, and they have a conversation. And the detective basically tries to get him to flip on Jannar to them, and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it at all. So they kind of like skip ahead of that whole thing. So now we get back to Jannar, who's already done did his rounds, and he's like, he done lost his car, and he don't know what else to do. So he finally gets to a point where he just snaps because he's so mad because everything's going on, and he rolls up on old boy and sees him. He's like, man, why you been trying to duck me? Blah 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 blah. And dude was like, nah, man, he ain't like that. Blah blah blah. He's like, so they had an argument. He was trying to tell him how basically of a bitch he is to let Tommy run around and do whatever he wants to do. And so Jannar was like, I'm tired of people telling me what I can and cannot do, and how to run my business and stuff like that, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So Jannar gets upset and goes crazy and just kills this guy. And this is after he got his car stolen. So he basically calls dude to come pick him up. He had his car stolen. What really, would you say it was really stolen? More repossessed? I don't know. But yeah, basically he calls him to come pick him up, and that's when they had this conversation. And Jannar flips out because he's reeling. On top of that, he was also like snorting the stuff because he's so out of it. He's like, he doesn't understand how he's gonna get out of this predicament he's in. So he kills the guy, throw him on the side of the road, take his car, and he goes and he basically gets some more cocaine that he can snort. And he's like in his whole nother world. So then we go to I think Tommy. Okay, one part of the episode, Tommy and Diamond, they decide that they're moving so much weight that they need to re-up faster. So they go to Miguel to try to get more product. Not only more product, but even double the product. So they could pay, more money, so they could get more money, and so forth, so forth. And Miguel was like, bro, what's going on? And he was like, yo, we just need it because it's selling real good. And basically, Miguel couldn't really give them the re-up, more drugs, because remember, last episode, Tommy and them got his ass. So now he's like, now that is getting the wheels turning in Miguel's head. Like, I think these guys might have had something to do with my drugs being stolen. So we're going to see how that goes. I want to say Tommy had a text with Mireya, and at this point, when it comes down to Mireya, oh no, I'm sorry, that was the trailer for next episode. I think Mireya is going to betray Tommy and not her brother, but she's going to make it seem like she's betraying her brother. That's my prediction for the next episode. But this show, it's getting pretty good. You know, the body count. You know, Tommy is racking up them body counts, man. We had 3 now, and actually probably more than that. But at this particular season, I think it's 3 so far. So I wonder if the next person he kills is Lilian. Well, is it Claudia? It might be Claudia. But then somebody else might be on the other end of that bullet, and it's just gonna get crazy. Oh, one other thing I want to talk about this episode: the fact that we also had that situation with Jannard being on drugs and getting heavy into drugs, but then on the flip side of that, we have somebody who's like they're done with drugs and they're trying to like rebuild their life and their relationships with their people, which is Tommy's mom. And it was funny how it wasn't funny. Let me not say it was funny. It was interesting how she shows up and she tries to make amends with Tommy, but she can't really say much because it's hard for her to do this. Even though she's drug free, she's been sober for a while. It's still hard for her to really apologize to Tommy. So she makes this statement, and Tommy's like, "You think you're just gonna come in and just say sorry and everything's gonna be hunky dory and fine?" Nah, like, so she breaks down and she starts talking to him and basically tells him like, she's sorry for all the stuff she's done, but what did she really do to him? And he said, he started naming stuff, and she was like, "Oh, so you got a whole list of things that you're mad about me about?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then one of the things was about the ice cream, when they wanted to go get ice cream, but instead of going to get the ice cream, she took the money to get high. And he basically, like, for a grown ass man, that was one of his issues that really like hit home for him. Even though he's grown, ice cream, he could buy his own ice cream now, so it shouldn't matter. But that wasn't a thing back in the day, where when you're a child, that's something you wanted, that's something that your parents told you that you was going to get, and just for them to take it away, and now you don't get what you don't get what you were promised, in a sense. And so I guess it hit her a certain way when she realized how much that affected him in his life. Not to mention the other things he said in that particular situation. So what happened was, when he finally comes home after all this craziness has happened, he goes to the fridge in the freezer, and he sees the ice cream there. He's like, "Oh, cool." And so I'm thinking, like, when he was coming up, because she was kind of like stumbling on her words and stuff, I thought she done got high because Tommy made her mad, and she felt like it was worthless to try to keep continuing on doing what she's doing. But no, she was just sleepy, and so he says thank you, and he kind of helps her to go to bed and whatever. And that was a pretty cool scene that they put in there. But yeah, this show's getting good. It's what, we only on episode 3, I think, right now, right? And it's only gonna get better. So can't wait till the next episode. If you like my review, if you have any questions, concerns, anything, you can post it down in the comments below. Until next time, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms, and I'll see you again later.